Ron and Fez show, 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. That one is for our friend Tracy. Fez leaving New York today, back to Strong Island.
Oh.
Well, you know, changes, Fezzy. Good things always come from change. That's my feelings.
No. Change is awful. Change is the worst possible thing.
No, it's not true. Change was growth. Change is growth. You don't want to end up like Earl Douglas, same spot year after year. If they ever did that speed photography from Earl, you would just see things changing around him, and he's sitting in the same chair. I like change. I think it's the best possible thing for you. To me, like a move, sometimes it reminds you of that new year in school. You got a new school. That's where your memories come from.
That was the absolute worst. I hate it. I went to 5 different schools in 5 years, and I absolutely hated it. It was the worst. Change, I cannot stand it. I don't want to get near it.
What did you have to adjust to? Being the gay kid? The new gay kid every year? All right, Ron and Fez show, 866 Ron Zero Fez. How are you with change, Earl? You're a fan, not a fan?
I'm very difficult with change.
You wear the same clothes every single day. You've lived in the same apartment, which you don't like, for a decade. They had to basically move you out of NEW with a bulldozer.
Yeah, I'm resistant to change, and then it takes me a long time to make that adjustment to it.
But that's where the growth comes from. Look what happened when you moved here, when you came here with us. You became a whole new Earl.
Yeah, I understand it, but it's always been difficult for me. I mean, and even the slightest change, even a slight change of routine kind of throws my brain off a little bit.
Your brain needs to be thrown off. That's the whole point of growth. You don't want to every single day be like a tree in the same exact spot. Now look at Eastside Dave. He's going through some major changes now. New girlfriend, old girlfriend leaving. Now he's in the same apartment, but he's looking around. You probably ought to think new apartment, Dave.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. You know why? Because I love change.
Do you really?
Sure, I really do. I'm not just kidding about that. You know, old plants that, are gone, new plants come in that are fresh.
All right, enough with planty.
But in addition to that, my hair changes a lot, so I usually change the kind of my sideburns.
Everything drives me nuts about change, whether it's the big things like, finding a new place to live or making new friends, down to when you do find that new place to live, and you're not used to how hot or how cold, the water is in the place, how long it takes the water to heat up. Every little thing gnaws on me like that.
That's because you're not open to it. You're holding on too tightly. You got to let go, my friend. You got to let go. Let go, let God. There you go. Off you go.
Does not work for me.
You need to read that little parable in the beginning of Illusions about the stream people. You just let go. Let it change. Let everything happen for you. Now the funny thing is, you look at me and Eastside Dave that are open to possibilities, and look at you and Earl. Everything freaks you guys out. Everything does.
Oh, yeah, I guess because it's all related to change, I guess.
Yeah, of course. But it's all related to the way that you think about change, the way you think about new things. That's what it's all about. You don't necessarily think tomorrow is going to be a good day.
No, I'm not going to go ahead and write that one down as a definite. And it just takes so long for something to feel normal once it has changed.
Right. But see, here's the point. Who wants to feel normal? Who wants to live a normal life?
I would love to feel normal for one day in my life.
But then you never feel normal, right?
Right.
So not feeling normal is fucking normal. When are you going to make that adjustment in your head to go, this feeling of constant weirdness is the way I feel? So that then becomes normal. I don't know what you think normal is, but apparently it's not what's normal for you.
It would be a day without any sort of mental or emotional crises.
All right, here's Dal. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. How's it going?
Good, man.
Good. I'm sorry. I was just going to ask Fezzi and Earl, whatever you're used to now that you don't want to change must have been new at some point. So change isn't always horrible. Correct?
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I would agree. If not, if these guys didn't go through changes, they'd still be in the bassinet. Yet they forget that. I mean, when you're a little kid, what do you want to do? You want to fucking get in a car. You're excited. You want to do things. You want to go places. And then at some point you say to yourself, no, this is it. I'm going to grow roots here. And I don't know why you do it to yourself. I don't know why you do it. Certainly not the American way. I say go west, young man. Go west. My family landed in this country. They made it all the way to Chester, Pennsylvania. They made it a good half day's ride from the coast. And there they fucking settled. Pete, you're around a Fez.
Hey, guys. This is kind of a spiritual thing for me, but the only real consistency in life is change.
Yeah, sometimes bumper stickers help, right?
Exactly.
Thank you. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Well, Fezzi, maybe some things wouldn't made it to being a cliche if they weren't true. But again, you don't want to be those people that are going, I want the Beatles to stay the mop tops. And people do that all the time. Not only do they not want to change themselves, they hate when other people change. They hate when things in life change.
Oh, yeah, it's awful, like when some sort of family dynamic changes or something like that.
Why is that awful?
It just throws everything off because what it is, I said this, was the long process of getting to feel normal again.
Again, you're not making any sense with your term normal. There is no such thing as this normal that you think that you're talking about. That's an illusion. And one that doesn't fucking work for you. One that does not work for you.
Like the change that I had to make that really took me a long time to adjust to was that you mentioned normal. I used to have such a set and normal routine. Now every day it is far from normal. That's the normal thing. That is every day is not normal.
I don't even know what you mean. What was your set and normal thing before?
No, I would just I would get up at a certain time. I would do certain things at a certain, almost down to the minute. To the point where even when I got here, and there was just certain things I did. Now, every day is something completely different.
And which way do you feel better?
I feel better in the sense that that it helps me embrace the day a little bit more. And
but look at it this way to both you guys, and you want to be in a rut like that too, Fez.
Sure.
I was going to say you read books, but you see movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Movies are about adventure. You don't want to watch a movie where Peter Pan gets up, he brushes his teeth, he goes to the same place. That's not an adventure. You want your life to be somewhat of an adventure. A roller coaster. You want to be on a roller coaster when you go to the park, not the fucking merry-go-round.
Oh, I hate the roller coaster.
Sean, you're around a Fez.
Yeah, I just got to tell Fezzi and Earl over there. I work with the Alzheimer's and those people with dementia and everything, really, the elderly. And a lot of those people end up there because they have the same routine every day and they never change it up. And that's what leads to their dementia and their Alzheimer's later in life because those consistencies aren't there that they're used to.
Yeah, that is really, really true. That's the people that spend all their time being fucking freaked out. Forget that, Fez. You want to be Indiana Jones. You never watch an Indiana Jones movie and he's going like this. I really hate travel. I'm not happy. I didn't have a really good place to sleep, and I don't know where my next meal's coming from. You want to go through life, Fezzi, like Bugs Bunny. Just fucking heading down that road, and when something bad happens, you fuck with it. You absolutely fuck with it.
Should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
Mark, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Fez. I just wanted to agree with Fez that I'm not one much for change either. I just feel like once I get into a routine that works for me, I like to keep it like that. I don't like to mess with it.
But you are fooling yourself that there is some kind of consistency to the world. What you guys are living right there is illusion. It's false illusion. Because you have no idea whether you're going to be in an earthquake later on today. And the chances are something is coming. Something is coming, and you got to roll with it. You just absolutely have to roll with it. And it doesn't, a fucking wave can come along, right? And if you don't know how to handle it, it can go over your head, right?
Right.
I mean, waves drown people. And that freaks you out that I even said that?
Yeah.
But people surf waves. You have to turn around, swim with the wave, body surf it, and you'll end up having a fucking blast at the ocean. You want to be a guy who fucking sits out there, accepts the fucking things that happen, but then find your own way of dealing with it. So your consistency becomes, I'm the fucking guy who can have a lot of fun with these changes. I'm the guy who can fucking tame the beast. That's the fun thing.
See, I think you nailed it there, because I think what the fear of change, or at least the resistance to change, is a fear of death. Because every change that you go through is just another turn around the corner to your death.
Right.
So I think that's what it is. People don't want to die.
But you say you want normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's normal to be born, to live, and to die. That is the normalcy, right?
Right.
So there's the normal life that you're looking for. You are going to die. That's normal to die. The abnormal thing would be not to die.
That's true, but for some reason I don't get much comfort out of that.
I don't know why you're going for comfort. Fuck comfort.
Comfort feels good. It's nice to have a comfortable zone to operate out of.
Leslie, you're on Fez.
Me?
I guess, unless
All
you made up that
right.
name. I don't know.
Hi. Hey, I just wanted to call in and say this is a really good topic. You guys chose a good one today.
Yeah.
Fez, I feel like you. I'm just like you. I hate change. I'm anxiety, all that crap that goes along with it. But I wish I could think more like Ron.
Well, I mean, it isn't even a matter like whether you think like me or you think like Fez. The fucking reality of it is you don't have control over the universe.
Nope.
Nobody has control over the universe. So the illusion always is that there is any kind of normalcy. You know what I mean? The reality of the planet Earth is you may have to grab all your shit and take off, as much as you can carry. More of that has happened than has been times of peace. I mean, we've never really been in a situation where you don't have to say to yourself, something fucking wicked this way comes, so I got to fucking make a move for this. The only control you have is if you're going to enjoy that or not. That's your only control issues.
Yeah, I can see, I totally get the concept of the only control you have is to give up control.
Right.
Basically. But that is the hardest thing in the world to do.
But I don't even know I disagree that it's giving up control. Because if you're surfing a wave, are you giving up control or is it a different kind of control? You don't let the wave just take you and the board wherever it fucking wants to. You're out there trying to figure out, okay, it's fucking breaking this way, so I shift this way, I shift back and forth. And the reality of it is, let's say, like, even in the corporate world, we were when we grew up, we were taught, oh, you want to get a job, and that fucking corporation will take care of you, and time goes on. But the reality now, in today's world, is the only way to get decent, large raises is to move from job to job. That is the only way to jump ahead. For some reason, we live in a world where they think the guy working at the other corporation is better than the fucking guy who works here. That's the only fucking way that you move ahead in the world today. The guy who sits at the same job and gives up that loyalty and he goes in and he puts in his 8 hours or 10 hours and doesn't make a big deal out of it, he's the one that they see as what's wrong with him. He's not moving ahead. He's not jumping from fucking rock to rock. You got to be ready to get out and do that kind of stuff. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello?
Yeah.
Ronnie, am I on the air?
I guess you are.
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Mike,
Yeah.
I'm a truck driver, and I can't even relate with these guys, how they hang up in the same rut. If I got to look at a different town, different state every day of the week, or I'm not happy. It kills me. It would make me. I would fucking kill myself if I had to sit around in the same job at the same place every single day. I don't even understand how they can do it.
See, that's what always interests me. Like, for somebody like him, the same exact situations, it might be a nightmare to someone else, right? So the fucking reality of it is, it isn't the situation that's either great or awful. It's only how the person perceives that, whether it's fucking great or awful. Because I agree with you. If I worked if my job was exactly the same and I had to turn in certain reports and everything was ready, steady, and my paychecks always looked the same and I was saving up for some little vacation, I think I'd go out of my fucking mind. But the way that you and Earl are talking about it, that's the ideal life.
Yeah, where it seems like if you have some consistency, that there's something, at least you can depend on it.
But how can you depend on it? How can you depend on, let's say, one job in today's world? I mean, we've seen fucking, all the companies that were around when I was a kid are fucking gone now. All the companies that my dad's generation worked for. Growing up where I grew up at, there were all these fucking factories. Everybody went to school. Everybody wanted one of those fucking jobs because that's all we knew. All those factories are gone now. If you got hired into them, if you were doing it, you were pretty much thrown out in the street and you had to adjust yourself. So you can't count on the large fucking corporations. You obviously can't count on things like weather. I mean, people in New Orleans thought, this is my place in the world, this is my little spot. And a fucking storm comes along and, puts everything that you ever knew 12 feet underwater. You can't sit in that fucking house when that thing is coming. You got to be ready to skedaddle. You got to keep on moving.
It's also brutal.
Well, I don't understand why you keep saying it's brutal. It is the way of the world.
Yeah, I guess it's the fact that if you try, in my situation, like if you try to hold on to something, the change is going to be even more difficult when it comes along. I guess that's the thing I have to realize.
Yeah, but holding on to something, it's not the way of the fucking world. Nothing fucking lasts. Mountains aren't going to last, no matter what it happens to be. But at some point, you have to appreciate those things when you have them. No matter what it is, you have to appreciate it and then fucking let go. Because there's no such thing as ownership, There's no such thing as ownership. I mean, most of the things that we talk about on this on these shows are when couples are breaking up and all. It's because that other person is acting like you're not behaving the way I want you to act. You're not doing the things that I want you to fucking do.
Right, yeah. I understand that.
You have no control over what anybody else does. You only control how you fucking deal with them. Or you go through life like Earl, going like, all right, then I won't be in relationships.
No, I mean, that's just for lack of a better word, a change that I wanted to make, because I just thought, I almost obsessed about it, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'm just looking at it too closely, I'm holding on to it too tight. I mean, maybe I should just pull back for a minute and let things, grow as a person, and then be willing to share that with someone else.
I think now that your hair is growing, it's working out for you. Rob, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I think part of it, too, is a lot of us think short term, so when there's consistency, it makes it seem like tomorrow, if we can expect that things will be okay if it's the same every day.
Well, you can still expect that things are going to be okay, but the reality of it is you can only expect that you're going to deal with these things as they come along. I mean, you could get a phone call later if something happens in your family, something with yourself. You have no fucking control over it,
No.
Particularly, the more family that you have, the more pain at one point in your life you're going to endure. The more love you have in life, at certain times, that means that there's going to be gigantic pain in store for you.
Yeah, that's why I always had trouble when we hit the year 2000, the Y2K.
Yeah.
I always had trouble with that because it's like, okay, it was almost like what we had left of the 20th century was like almost like free time. You know, but now you get into the 21st century where we're at now, and that is when it's the century where you will lose loved ones. It's the century where you will die.
Yeah, but the whole time thing is fucking made up anyway, just so we know how to reach our fucking appointments, you know? It's the only reason why we had time. I mean, the fucking Indians didn't have time because they didn't give a fuck. What are they going to say? I'll see you next Tuesday? They were basically living day to day, right?
Right, yeah.
Which is the only way to really live. You really only are living day to day, moment to moment. Anything else is fucking made up. Anything else is really pretend. It's fucking fantasy stuff. Hey, Colin, you're on Fez.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Fez, I love you, but I got to disagree with the lack of change stemming from a fear of death. I mean, really, in my experiences, you see people with, they're terminally ill. Maybe they have a death sentence, some sort of cancer or something, and you'll actually get out and truly live for the first time.
Well, I mean, that's people that have accepted death. Fez's thing isn't a fear of death. It's a fear of acceptance of death. That's what he's really afraid of. Because a guy who knows he's going to fucking die is in a different place. Even though Fez knows he's going to die, he hasn't accepted it the same way as if he was told, well, you have a brain tumor the size of a fucking bowling ball. You know?
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And you do,
weird.
Fez.
I mean,
That's what this whole thing was about.
What?
Tracy's not going back to Long Island. You have a brain tumor the size of a bowling ball. Now, I knew it, Earl knew it, and, of course, Dave knows it. The only way that we could do that, explain that to you, is with an R.E.M. song.
That totally explains why hats don't fit anymore.
What is that problem with your hat thing?
Just a giant head.
Jeff, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, Fez, I just wanted to share something with you, maybe put some stuff in perspective. I'm 32 years old. I have 4 kids. I live in Kansas, and I'm a freelance artist, but in a month I leave for basic training for the Army just because I was just wanting something different, something kind of throw my life a curveball. And, you know, that's how you grow. That's how you kind of, you know, enjoy life is to face that fear, and then when you get on the other side of it and see what you learned, you're a stronger, better person. You can face that next challenge.
Fez, you went to college. Isn't that the whole point of college is they try to teach you to roll with things? I have no idea. I didn't go.
Yeah, you're supposed to grow as a person as well as educationally.
And try to let go of some things.
Yeah, get away from your family, kind of become more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
That's really the plan. And I think I
Don't
did
be
that
afraid
while
to
I was
look-
there. It took a long time to adjust, though. I got really homesick at college. That took a really long time.
And then when you left college, you hated that too.
Oh, yeah, I totally hated leaving that set of circumstances. I guess I just have to get embedded for quite a while before I start to even feel good about my surroundings.
Boy, that's just the opposite. The point is this. It isn't about the fucking surroundings. The point is wherever you go, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you are. There you are having experiences. So it really doesn't matter. Now, of course, do you want to go back? Do you have to fucking lock in? Yeah, we're not tumbleweeds. We're not just going to fucking bed down. At one time we could do that, but you can't do it anymore. You can't fucking lay out underneath the stars. The reality of it is you want to live every day. You don't want to just endure every day. You would like to live every moment. You would like to enjoy every moment. You can't always do that. But there seems to be a desensification that you and Earl are talking about, where instead of feeling normal, as you're trying to say, that you're trying to numb yourself out, almost like a drug addict, and feel nothing. When you're a drug addict, you're basically saying, I'm so fucking, I'm so fucking, my feelings are so large, I'm just going to try to fucking numb them down,
Yeah, I would agree with that because it's like you don't want to, the things you don't want to feel is the nervousness, the anxiety.
Right.
So of a new situation.
Right.
Of a change. So yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, I'll give you nervousness and anxiety because here's something that you can understand. When you perform in front of large groups of people, some people show up and they're so fucking nervous and anxious, right?
Right.
And then they see guys like us and they're like, I don't know how you do it. You don't feel nervous and anxious before you go out there. But the reality of it is you do feel the same exact things, but you think of it as excitement when you're a person who likes to perform. It's basically the same exact physical feelings. You feel the same feelings in your stomach and that level where you've got goosebumps and your hairs and you're ready for your name to be announced. You're like, this is fucking unbelievable. And the same thing is like if you're a skier.
Right.
If you're at the top of a fucking mountain and you're a fucking world-class skier, you feel the same kind of shit as a guy who's frightened, except for you've been through it before and you go, okay, if I come down there and a log is there, I'm going to fucking turn and, you believe in yourself more. But the feelings are exactly the same between excitement and fucking fear. And I know you like excitement. You fucking, you like that feeling. You go to blockbuster movies and, there's shit like that. You're a big wrestling fan where everybody's cheering. The whole thing about being a football fan is this, feeling of not knowing whether your team's going to win or lose. And so you're jumping up and down. That's the same fucking feeling as fear.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I have to figure out how to channel those things into, like, everyday things. Those feelings that I have. And the other thing that you brought up that I really hadn't thought of is that, throughout different situations, as things do change, I am the consistent thing in the whole thing, me, myself.
And you change. You're not you yourself. You're not the same you yourself as when you were in third grade. If you were, you'd be considered a retard, right?
Sure.
So you do change. Your opinions change, your feelings, whether you want them to or not. I mean, if you have let's say this. If you're 40 years old and you have the same opinions of a guy who's 18 or 21 years old, you've wasted a fucking lifetime. You've learned zero. You've got nothing. This whole thing of, I believe in something because that's the way I was raised, it means you haven't gone out and found your own shit. You have not really experienced the world. That's the weird thing about it. Greg, you're on Fez.
Yeah, man, I want to tell Fez to go ahead and open up that closet door for me because you're wrong about the Indians not keeping track or not caring about time. They use the sun to tell time. They had to know when to come back from hunting trips and whatnot.
Well, look, I'm saying this. What I'm saying, they didn't use a calendar. You know what I mean? They were in touch with the nature of the time.
Well, you speak of calendar, though, they also had their own calendar, too. I mean, it probably didn't say January through December on it, but they had to know the times of year that they were in order to plant their crops, because that really does matter.
Okay, so they had day planners. Indians had day planners.
Well, they probably didn't have the little one-touch deal, and all this kind of stuff.
All right, here's some time for you. Here's some time I want you to focus on. 1861 to 1865. That's the fucking years I want you to focus on. Remember that ass whipping? 1861 to 1865. Write it in your fucking calendar. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Al. Al, you're on Ron Fez.
Yeah, how you doing, Ron? Listen, I had a parachuting accident. It was a deceleration accident, and I blew out my mitral valve that had to replace, and I'm 47. You got to live. You just deal with it. Fuck it. You blew the valve. They'll change it. We live in great times. What's the big fear? You just got to go forward.
All right, now he had a parachuting accident, Fez.
Right.
What I'd like you to do is I want you to fucking jump out of an airplane. I want you to parachute. But the way I'm going to do it with you is I'm going to throw the chute out, and then I'm going to throw you out. Basically like in the movie Speed. And I want you to be able to try to get aerodynamic so you can shoot over grab the parachute, put it on your back, tie yourself in, and pull that string.
I am not going to be able to do that. There is no way I'm going to be able to just really make myself aerodynamic enough.
I believe in you. I think you can do this. 1861 to 1865. That's the fucking time I want you to fucking think about, Hayseed.
He's still trying to Google it.
What happened? Why is Ron so happy about those years? Oh, that's what it is.
He's trying to Barney Google it right now.
Well, it ain't over yet, Blue Belly. It ain't over yet. We're fourth quartering this motherfucker. We're going to fourth quarter it. All right, now you take a fucking idiot like Dave.
Sure.
He was in a bad relationship. Fucking hideous relationship. But now, he's got a date with a girl over his head. He could not be more excited. Is he going to blow this? Absolutely. That's what he does.
Of course.
But, so what? He's got the opportunity right now, that excitement level of thinking, what if everything works out? What if everything suddenly goes my way?
Now, he should be a glasses half empty type guy. If anyone had a right to it, it's him.
Why?
Because he's going to screw things up. He's going to get drunk that night at St. Patrick's Day night. He can say all the big plans he wants.
Yeah.
It's going to be a drunkard's disaster.
That's not the way I look at things, Fez. And that's why, I feel good. I have good health and everything. Because I look at things as, this is going to work out. This is going to be a time of a lifetime.
All right, Fez, grab your notebook. I'm going to teach you something. I want you to write it down.
Okay, got it.
It's 2 words. Here's the heading. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. And that's it.
Oh, that's it?
That's the end of the lesson.
Oh, okay.
It's that simple. Just
fuck it.
Fuck it. I don't care what they write on Whackbag. I don't care what they write on other websites.
You should.
No, why? Why
Fuck
should
it.
he?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Dave gives ugly people a chance. Fuck it, Whackbag. Fuck it.
What does that mean? Because you're with a hot chick?
Right. And I'm like, you know what?
That's one of the nicer things written.
Right. Yeah.
So what?
So what?
So what?
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Fuck it, huh?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Life's too short. Fuck it.
What do you give a shit, Fez? What do you fucking care?
At some point, you just gotta not respond to what other people think, to what other people are trying. Other people trying to push their deal onto you. Fuck it. Fuck them.
Fuck it in the ear. Fuck it in its ear.
Do I add that to the notebook?
No, and here's lesson number 2.
All right.
1861 to 1865.
61, 65. Got it.
And then put underneath that.
Right.
North 1-0.
North 1-0.
And we probably would have won Vietnam if not for the motherfuckers in Iraq too. Don't worry about a damn thing, Fez. Don't worry about a damn thing. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
That's you.
Fuck it. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck it. 1861, 1865.
Yeah, don't even lean on those things too much.
Okay.
I want you to just roll with the changes. Jim, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, guys. I think that your ability to change is relative to how much change you experienced when you were growing up. Like, if you had a lot of changes when you were a kid that were big for you, then you're used to it, and you can handle it later in life.
Yes and no, because some kids they're like born on a farm. They can't fucking wait to leave. They can't wait to get out of the small town dog shit. And then other people, they grew up in the city and they think, I want to go plant crops. I mean, let me tell you something. You go out and you're a farmer, you better be ready to roll with the fucking changes, my friend. You don't know what boll weevils are going to hop on your ass. You got to be hardcore to be a fucking farmer. You got to be a guy who knows how to fucking deal with what life hands him. Because you ain't going to get any help from God. God's going to throw all kinds of mean shit at you.
No.
Ben, you're on Fez.
Hey.
Yeah.
I wanted to call you out, Ronnie, on your reference to Speed movie with the parachuting. That was actually Point Break.
Oh, it was Keanu Reeves in it?
Yes.
Every movie he's in, I call Speed. I don't care what it is.
It is the same movie.
I'm going to send you the big-ass prize closet.
All right.
For being so intelligent when it comes to Keanu Reeves movies.
Hold on, buddy. We're going to get you a DVD copy of Babel, starring Brad Pitt and Kate Blanchett, courtesy of Paramount Home Entertainment. Babel is in stores now, or you can go to Paramount.com, Home Entertainment, for more information.
Then the problem is you're going to have to watch that.
Well, I can throw out my screener now, so I can get the real one.
All right, I'll give you something else, too. Give him two things.
All right, we'll throw in a DVD copy of World Trade Center, starring Nicolas Cage, also from Paramount Home Entertainment.
Great, thanks a lot.
Talk about dealing with change.
Not a lot of happy movies on this list.
Yeah, I
here.
noticed that.
If you go down to the next one.
What's the next one? Oh, Flags of Our Fathers.
Yeah, jeez. What is this, Earl Douglas's depressing cinema?
Wow.
No wonder he's Mr. Wet Towel. Can't experience any joy.
You are a joyless motherfucker, Earl.
I have plenty of joy in my life.
From
Thank
the
you very
Americans
much.
Getting Killed film collection.
Earl, give me something that gives you joy.
Doing a show gives me joy.
Bullshit.
You're so bad at it. You're so
Being
bad
with,
at
no,
it.
honestly, I mean, doing the show gives me joy. Being with this company, this group of men here, gives me joy.
You know what gives me joy, too? It gives me joy, too.
This company.
And you know what? I was fucking thinking about this last night. And I was thinking about this Eastside Dave. Talking about how he pissed himself till he was 15.
Yeah.
But yet he still went over his friend's house with the rubber sheets. And then he had to go and stay up late on his class trip and lay in the bathtub and piss in the bathtub at night. And I swear to God, I thought to myself, that little boy that I never fucking met, I love that fucking kid. That kid is like a little urine hero. That kid had some bad fucking breaks, but what did he say to himself, Fezzi? I'm going to stay in the comfort zone of sleeping at home in my fucking cat box where I can piss away, or I'm going to see the sights and sounds of Boston. I'm going to find out where they filmed the exterior of Cheers. I'm going to fucking take a look at that duck tour and what it's like to be out there on the, is it St. Charles River?
Yeah.
I don't know.
St. Charles River. I'm going to find out what makes Boston tick. And he went and did it. And that is like, oddly enough, it's like a little fucking hero. A little pissy hero.
Yeah. I'm in a room with Eugene Campbell and Brian DeFeo.
Why not? Why not?
Even though they are, two of the cooler kids.
Yeah.
And if they found out about the pissing, I'm done for in school. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Good for you, little pissy Dave.
Thank you.
It really doesn't fucking matter, Fez. And for some reason, God bless you think it does. For some reason, you think it does. Ronnie, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks, Ronnie, because I've been having kind of a fucked up time lately, and I was riding around today feeling really fucked up, and then two little words, fuck it, and I am so happy now. I'm going to write it down on a card,
Write it
carry
down.
it with me whenever I feel fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a look and say, Ronnie B says,
You know what?
fuck it.
I'm going to fucking market business cards and just say fuck it.
Oh, my
So you don't
God.
even have to tell the people that. You just hand it. Call me at this number.
You'll save a lot of money on ink.
Yeah, sure. Sure you will.
Well, just get fuckit.com.
What do you need, Fezzi? What do you care? What do you care?
I've got all I need, right?
No.
Oh,
But you should go after things.
true.
You guys ever read any of the Joseph Campbell stuff?
Yes.
He studies mythology, and he did The Hero with 1,000 Masks, all that. Well, when I read, and again, it's 3 fucking words, and I read this book, and I'm like, damn, I wish I would have found this phrase when I was like 12 or 13. And anytime, like, kids ask me now, what should I do with my life? I'm going to go to school. What should my major be? Blah, blah, blah. Here's the 3 words. Follow your bliss. You got no other fucking thing. When you go for security, you have no idea what that's going to mean. But so many of these kids where they go, well, I'm going to be, a film director or a novelist or something that, a professional athlete. It seems like it's got a fucking long shot to it, you know? You don't know where that path takes you. You know what I mean? As long as you are doing what you like. Like, if you start to scream at a kid, I don't want you to collect fucking, baseball cards anymore. You know, like, at a certain age when we were kids, your old man started to look at you like you're retarded. He used to buy you baseball cards, and now he's like, look at you. You fucking collecting baseball cards. But guys who stayed with that go on and they have a career in baseball cards, or they learn to trade and sell antiques. You know, you just move baseball cards into paintings, and basically it's the same work. You know, a guy who likes the energy a little bit, likes to gamble, maybe should learn a little bit about the stock market, where it seems like those people are treated like respect. So you really have to find that thing that you enjoy doing. And as simple as it fucking sounds. And just do it, but almost not fucking care what the results are. To not give a shit what the results are. And I was just telling this to O&A today in the hall. You know what I mean? You cannot pay attention to the fucking shit that you can't do. All you can do is, did I go in there and have a fun time on the fucking show today? Did I interest myself? Did I interest the people that I work with? Did we make each other laugh? Or, we had the good kind of argument? And then what happens on the outside of that is out of your fucking control. And, that's something that the marketing people don't understand, the management people don't understand, the sales people don't understand, because they're of that Fez mind, that somehow that 1 + 1 = 2. But it fucking doesn't always in the real world.
Right, yeah. It's the results is what they're looking for.
Hey, Chris Sherman of Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Man, I just wanted to say, Fez, man, just happiness is a conscious decision, man. I had some real messed up stuff happen to me. A few years ago, my ex-fiancée, she cheated on me a month before the wedding. I ended up quitting my job, moving to a different state, went to law school, found my wife. I just had to roll with the punches, man. And every day, even if you're feeling, shitty when you wake up, you can make a choice whether or not you're going to have a good day. Otherwise, you're just destined to have a bad day.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is you got two kinds of movies, right? One where the guy has this, fucking great life, and then something fucking horrible happens, and he's got to work his way back up. Or it starts with something horrible happens, and off he goes. But you need that bad thing to fucking happen for you to be a hero. You know what I mean? You've got to have the challenges to be the fucking hero. The guy who does nothing is not a fucking hero,
And they say to understand the good when it comes around. If you know what the bad is, you're going to know what the good is. You'll know what that feels like.
What are you going to start becoming a cutter? I don't understand you've taken this down into some kind of odd self-pain thing.
I could never become a cutter. That amazes me.
I could cut you right now.
All right, when you're a cutter, you cut yourself. You don't cut other people.
Oh, my friend, I don't know. I don't want to let you in on all my perversities, but yes, you can cut each other.
Fuck it, Fez. Let him cut you.
No.
Here's Kyle. Kyle, you're on Run of Fez.
How you doing, Ronnie?
Hey, brother.
Hey, man, I just want to call up and share my little story with you.
Yeah.
Worked at this place for 3 years. They messed up my schedule, told me it was the wrong thing, went in the wrong time. They fired me, lost my girlfriend of 4 years just the other day, and I'm just listening to your radio show now. I heard the mortal words of Ronnie B. Fuck it, and it made everything so much better.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when the shit hits the
I
fan
lost my-
sometimes, you can't even fucking feel any better. You know what I mean? You just feel fantastic.
I worked at I thought the best job of all time,
Mm-hmm.
working in an Irish bar where I got to drink every night till 6 o'clock in the morning. It was heaven on earth. One day I got fired, and I'm just saying to myself, oh my God, I just lost my dream job at this Irish bar. But you know what I said? I said, fuck it. And I was a fan of the Ron Fez show, and after I got fired, I applied myself to maybe someday I could possibly work for him. That was my fuck it right there. And look what happened.
So if you don't lose your fucking dream job, you don't get your dream job.
Exactly. And that was, and I'm not just shitting around being fun because I like to drink and stuff. I love the people there. I love the ambiance. It was like Cheers. It was
Right.
great. And I really loved that job. And the fucking guy fired me, prick. And
you shit on the bar?
No, I didn't shit on
what
the
did
bar.
you? It had to have been the drinking that you were supposedly allowed to do every day.
No, I came in late one day.
Hungover?
And the thing was, his brother was hitting on my chick at the time, so that's really why he fired me.
Sure.
I come in late one time, and he fires me.
Did he end up fucking your chick?
No, I had her. But the funny thing is, I'm taking the train, New Jersey Transit, and his bar, I guess, had gotten sold from underneath him, and there he was punching tickets on the New Jersey Transit line.
So that's true too, man.
See?
That a lot of times that when you think now I've got it made, you don't fucking know whether that's true or not. You know, it's just like how many guys have retired and fucking dropped dead right after?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it happens all the time.
Or even just get depression. I mean, forget about just dropping dead. They're like, what am I going to do now? You can only play so much golf for so long.
Right. And I mean, you know, and it's the most horrible thing to say, but guys are like, oh, I fucking, you know, I know what I'm doing. I built this family, and something horrible can happen to your fucking family. Whatever you looked at, you know, you have no fucking control over it.
That's right.
But what did Bono say? You got to leave it behind. That's what it's all about. Everything that you have in this earth, no matter how much you accumulate or how many friendships you make, how much love you make, no matter what it is, you're fucking leaving it here. You're going into that total fucking black void, Fez. That total black void.
Wow, it just doesn't make me feel good.
Why not?
I think the black void part, really.
Just think of it as a large hole that you're falling backwards in. That's all.
Forever?
Seems peaceful.
Yeah. Just think of you flipping up and down into a black void.
I wonder how many tens of thousands of years I would just be screaming my ass off till I got used to falling through the void.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're Void Boy. That's all you are. You can't avoid it. That's the beauty of it.
I'm going to write that one down under 1861 to 1865.
Yeah, I wish I wouldn't have brought that up. That was just because that guy annoyed me bringing up Indian calendars. It's a different type of thing. I'm not saying they didn't go along with the seasons. They did. But they didn't have day planners and acting like, oh, I'm going to retire one day. They fucking died, you know, early, whatever. But at least they lived. I mean, if you really think about it, the life a modern person has and a life of, like, you know, the fucking Cheyenne or something, they probably experienced the earth much more, you know, until the white man came along and stole their women and children and fucking, you know, killed them.
Sneezed on their blankets.
But there for a while, you know, they were in touch with the physicalness of this world.
There was also more world for them to experience. White man build buildings. White man build highway.
Excuse me?
Well, I'm
the
just
dang
saying.
thing that we fucked them up with was adverbs. Why don't they ever say thanks for the adjectives and the adverbs? We had nothing. We used to just throw fucking nouns around with an occasional verb.
Right.
Some of them had to be conjugated.
Me, run, forest. What? What are you saying? Slow down. Bulba, you're around Fez.
Hey, yeah, this conversation hits pretty close to home because I have a job where I'm moving frequently, about once a year, and I'm engaged to someone who hates any sort of change.
Right. You're going to have to bring a check home for her.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to do that because I'm in a different part of Texas today. I guess I can just, pick one up somewhere and just, throw her in the bed of the
Get her a
truck.
Mexican chick.
They are all over the place.
All right. Bye. Here's Todd. Todd, you're around Fez.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Yeah.
Kind of like Dave's fucking story, but I was wondering when he was going to stop being a fan and start doing some fucking work.
I don't know what that means.
He's saying you got your dream job, but you're still like fanboy here.
Oh, okay.
You're still enjoying yourself rather than adding to anything.
Fuck it, Kurt. I'm not going to listen to you.
Now, if you lost this dream job, maybe you get another one.
Yeah, I think then I would probably get my Yankees job.
But you know what? You wanna be, and you don't want to be an old man who's like, yeah, started at the mill in this year, and I worked there 45 years. You want to act like, well, that's when I was a sailor. I boxed, got my ass beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2-7 hurts to go 2-7 in boxing. But when you're an old man and you said I was a pro boxer, 2-7, and you laugh, everybody's like, What a character. This guy's something else. He's something else.
It's about life's experiences.
Right.
That's not about fucking wins and losses.
Exactly. That becomes the salty dog that everybody is a fan of in his old age.
Shit, I mean, 30 years from now, I'll brag about, losing some battles with Tabasco sauce,
I know you will. You'll be able to say Jay Moore poured hot sauce down my ass and burnt my asshole and balls so bad I had to go to the hospital.
Right, I'll tell that to my kids, grandkids.
Well, I don't think you're going to have any because your cum is clear.
Oh.
But your adopted or blended family, maybe you'll marry a woman with kids. You can tell those children.
I'd love to.
I wish you were just happy about it then when it happened instead of all the bitching and whining.
Well, then my asshole was on fire.
Here's Air Force Robert. Robert, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I had a shit job out of college about 3 years. Got fired by a prick boss. Had nowhere to go. Sold my shit house. Signed up for the Air Force because I said, fuck it. I'm a fighter pilot now. Best decision I ever made in my life.
Yeah. It's true.
That's the way you do it. Now he's out there flying planes, kicking ass.
Right.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. Well, here's like a really odd story, so you never know how work and things like that are going to fucking go. So when O&A's thing blew up, which was, horrible for them, horrible for everybody who worked there, horrible for the listeners, blah, blah, blah. The company said to me and Fez, hey, we want to keep you with the company. We don't have any openings in New York right now. We will move you down to D.C. and you can work there. And we didn't want to do it, but we had no other options. So off we go to D.C. Now, you have two ways to handle that. One, you slide along, you try to do, to make the best of it. Two, you do what Fez does, and you're literally driving yourself crazy.
And you just go completely insane.
Yeah. Now, he really was, he missed New York, he missed the juice. Even though we met some of the best friends we've ever made, we made in D.C. They're still our friends to this day. But Fez was just in terrible shape, where you actually went on medication, and the medication went bad. It was just a fucking non-ending nightmare. Anybody who thinks like some of the stuff Fez goes through started with the heart attack, it's wrong. It was actually 2 years before the heart attack, because that's when he was acting like, I am not going to believe that this is happening. I'm freaking out. And no one else, you know what I mean? The reality of it is the world goes, hey, I'm sorry you feel that way, but they don't change for you. You know what I mean? He was basically on his own. And it was almost like the guy who goes to prison, he starts hitting his head against the fucking jail, the bars. He's only hurting himself, right? But we had a great fucking GM there named Alan Linewan. And Alan used to call us in, just loved our show, loved us. And he would always be saying, hey, guys, you're going to end up loving D.C. It's really like New York South. He used to tell us all the time. And he would give me tickets. He had great fucking, tickets for the Wizards games. And, the guy loved D.C. He was known at every restaurant, blah, blah, blah. And he was saying, believe me, trust me, you're going to love D.C. Long story short, we're in New York now, and he's our general sales manager up here. He fucking works where we work, and he's like, hey, I love New York. Don't you got, you know what I mean? Like, he's selling New York just as much.
Yeah, we'll get the speech. No place like it.
Yeah. Like being in a movie, right, Ron? Everywhere you go, it's like you've got mail every moment of the day. But, see, I mean, his way of living is a better fucking thing. What's that movie, the guy who used to sell the tickets in Ridgemont High, who said, you've got to always act like with chicks, wherever you are, that's the place to be.
Damone.
Damone is the fucking guy to be. You got to Damone yourself a little bit.
Yeah. Alan never at any point since he got here has told us New York is just like D.C. North.
Yeah.
We have not gotten that speech from him.
But he really does have a good attitude, And I mean,
Always.
you could always say, well, that's that positive sales spin that he puts on thing. But it is probably a much better way to live your life than it is smashing your head against the wall because you didn't get things the way you want it.
Well, it's definitely healthier, you know. And I'm sure those 2 years leading up to the heart attack actually led to the heart attack.
Well, I definitely think maybe the medication did. And that used to just, that was such a fucking horrible thing. I know that you went through it. But it was like a fucking horrible thing for me to say, and I'm going to you. This is, whatever. Your fucking leg now is going crazy, and you're breaking out in hives, and yet you still kept doing whatever the doctor told you to do.
Yeah, out of sheer desperation, really.
Yeah.
Wanting something, to break me out of that funk. Yeah, and and everyone, and I also heard from friends that were also taking antidepressants, mood stabilizers, whatever I was on. One day you're going to have that day where you just wake up and everything's going to feel good. And I was kind of looking forward to that, and it...
Yeah, but don't you think everybody's different? You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
It's just like, the same diet doesn't work for each person, or...
Right.
I know this fucking guy, Jamie Brankus, he's... one of these health nuts. He trains people, and he's been on TV selling, I don't know, the smaller portions plate or some crazy shit. He's always like, yeah, guys, come on, push. And, he would bring us in. He would work us out every once in a while. And while he was working out, he's like, you feel it? Doesn't this feel great? And he literally, it wasn't like he was trying to pretend that working out felt great to him. And that fucking was just the truth. And you're better off in life if you thought like him than if you thought like, how can I dog my way through this fucking workout? How can I not fucking do this in full speed? It really is fucking true.
It's all mental. It's all mental. I have the same genes as my brother. He likes to run 10 miles a day.
Right.
Same genes, same build, same everything. He's got black hair, I got red. But that's the only difference.
Right.
And it's mind over matter. The guy doesn't get sick or anything.
Well, he was born with the right color hair. I mean, it had to be difficult for you. I mean, that made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, that stung a little bit.
I mean, he didn't stick out of the fucking crowd like some kind of redheaded idiot.
Fucking asshole.
And that's why I'm sure he's the favorite.
He definitely is the favorite.
Is he the favorite?
No
Your family?
shit. Absolutely. He didn't drink till he was 21. My mom said, if you don't drink till you're 21, you get $1,000.
What?
Yeah, because we have a little bit of a problem.
No, really?
In our family. But and he stuck with it, and he's not a big drinker to this day. 10 miles a day, cross country star, high school and college at Dartmouth. He's the man, and everyone knows it. He's the best one in the family.
He's the only non-alcoholic?
You might say that.
All the other brothers drink?
You might say people tend to indulge a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's odd because in my family, the big drinker is the favorite. My big brother Corky.
He's not the favorite.
Oh, he is totally the favorite. He is absolutely the favorite. I actually have proof he's the favorite.
Corky is, what was that fucking movie, Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
Right?
That is Corky. He is Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights.
He's Ricky Bobby.
He's Ricky Bobby. He's not your dad's favorite or your mom's favorite.
He is definitely my dad's favorite. It was a year ago Thanksgiving. My dad had gone through some serious health problems, some major operations that year. And at Thanksgiving, he got very sentimental and wrote out a letter to his children. And we all got the same letter, and there was a paragraph for each of us in it where he said what he was so thankful for about his kids. And the absolute glowing, Corky paragraph of things like, firstborn, our pride and joy, no son has done more for their parents than you have, blah, blah, blah. And then compared to the other paragraphs, including my sister and my little brother, it was so obvious who the favorite was, that it was Corky, that it was Ricky Bobby.
Can I just say, he might be the family retard, because I am considered like the black sheep, the family retard.
Right.
And they always give me glowing, they always put extra love in their notes. And I'll even get random cards just saying we love you so much. So it's like they're going out of
That
their
one
way.
you love more because he's the runt.
But
He needs more.
what I'm saying is they need to just express it to him
Right.
that he's still loved by the family, even if he is the black sheep. But he might not actually be the black sheep.
No, he is the black sheep.
He might not actually be the favorite.
He's the black sheep, and he's totally the favorite.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
by the time it got down to the Fez paragraph, it was, you know what I got? I got something like, you can always beat me in Bible trivia. I mean, and I'm being absolutely serious about this.
But does what Dave said mean anything to you?
No.
I mean, if I was to try to come up with who would need more at mid-age where you guys are right now.
Right.
I mean, let's face it. Ricky Bobby is not going to win Talladega. All right? But Fez has won his Talladegas.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what it's like to get the fucking pop. And your brother hasn't, you know?
Right, but, and I won't even just go by this letter. I'll go through just, attitudes and behaviors. If Corky is upset, my parents absolutely freak out. I mean, they get nervous. If Corky gets mad at them for whatever reason, and Corky, has mood swings.
Right.
But if he gets upset with them for any reason, I mean, it's an all-out panic that Corky's upset. Now, I'll throw it on the other side with my sister, and Ronnie knows this. When my sister got remarried to a guy the whole family didn't approve of, she was ready to be written out by my mom. I mean, there was a situation there where my sister may not have had contact with the family again. And there was and I never saw that kind of panic, that my sister's upset or on the outside.
Well, don't you think girls get that thing, like, a little rougher than boys? Like, particularly since the kids were at the age that they were, I mean, that did freak out your parents. I'm not saying that they were right.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do think that you should back up your blood. But, a lot of times they came from the generation of, well, she's a trollop now. She's, you know what I mean? Like, it might be a generation thing.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
But did your brother and your sister get upset with that thing as much as you did?
Everyone kind of pointed it out, yeah, and it didn't have to be said, but everyone pointed it out. We see who the favorite is here.
I bet it bothered you and it bothered your sister, but I bet it didn't bother your little brother, did it?
Oh, no, my little brother thought the whole letter was ridiculous.
Right.
Why would a guy write this?
Great, I got a fag letter from my dad.
Exactly. That's where he was. He was just, my sister had trouble reading it. She
Yeah.
didn't know what was going to be in the letter.
Your brother said to me one time, your little brother, he goes, "You are so hysterical." He goes, "But I cringe every time my brother talks on that show."
What?
He goes, "It is so embarrassing." His little brother is fucking so much funnier than him.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think parents generally have a favorite. I know, like, it might seem like that way to you, but I think if you were a parent by now, you would understand that that's not true.
Yeah, and my dad one of his things has always been, I hate it when we were little, if one of us said, oh, someone else is a favorite or getting favoritism. So he's always preached against that. I don't think they'd admit it. I don't even know if he realizes it, but it's obvious who his favorite is. It's totally obvious that it's his firstborn son. It's Corky.
But I never saw. I mean, you talk about a dad that's proud. Your dad's fucking crazy about your act.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he has Fez write him gags. You know how Fez writes a lot of corny stuff that we would never put on the air here.
Yeah.
He gives those jokes to his dad, and his dad speaks like after dinners and these really old-fashioned type of where you have the cards and you're reading jokes.
Yeah.
And him and Fez will work on it for months.
I totally write my dad's acts for him when he MCs any sort of event.
So, I mean, that's a very close thing for, you to share. Like, because I basically have the same kind of brother that Dave does, where we're, like, very different from each other.
Uh-huh.
And my dad kind of shares interest with both of us. But I think, like, my sisters probably think that me and my brother are the favorites, but because we're the two who went away and didn't give, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
And when the sisters stayed close, and we're like, so whenever we come back, it's a much bigger deal than it is for the sisters.
Well, in my sister's paragraph in the Thanksgiving Day letter,
Yeah.
hers was, we're so glad we have you because we know you'll always take care of us as we get older. So that was
Yeah.
that was laid out on my sister. Not one of their sons
Well,
did I get laid out on?
You know, who wants a fucking son to come in and change the sheets? That's not. I mean, I understand completely. If you're in the old age, you'd rather have a daughter fucking wipe the dribble off your mouth than a son.
And then,
a son could always punch you.
And then I think my little brother's paragraph, his started out with, our surprise who came later in life. Which has got to make you feel good.
Well, what is wrong with? I mean, it doesn't.
Because I have to agree with Fez.
Yeah.
These things take a toll on you mentally. As someone like Fez's younger brother, it's like I wasn't supposed to be here. I wasn't planning. You know, I'm not even supposed to be here, except for them fucking up.
How many people do you think are planned on this planet?
65 to 70%.
No way.
I come from a family of 8. None of us were planned. They never came out and said it.
Dad never learned to pull out. They never do. Black people do not understand. You come into pussy, there's a fucking strong chance you're going to end up with a kid. I don't know why that fucking is so confusing to you folks.
It feels so good.
And don't act like it don't. And I like to say something to black people. Don't act like it doesn't feel good to come on tits. It does. Fucking pull back, hit the face, enjoy yourself. But stop fucking going 18 years. Here's Millie. Millie wants to talk to Fez. You're on the Ron and Fez show. Go ahead, Millie.
Hi, Ronnie. Hi, Fezzy.
Hi, Millie.
Hi. Fezzy, Corky is not the favorite. Your parents took time out of their anniversary party to announce all your radio names. They wouldn't do that for Corky.
That was a speaker at my parents' anniversary party, and it was radio characters I've never played, just really disgusting names that Ron Bennington had fed this guy.
It was all about Fez.
You know what?
It
Then
wasn't
if you
about
don't,
Corky.
you saying you didn't like it?
Yes, I didn't like it.
Let me take partial responsibility. It's time for me to cowboy up and be a man.
Partial? You're the one who said I played a character called the Cleveland Steamer. The Pittsburgh Platter.
Did it get a laugh at all?
No. The Roman Helmet.
Well, I laughed.
My brother laughed. My little brother laughed.
Yeah, he's so embarrassed to you.
He thought it was the most fantastic thing that ever happened.
God bless that kid. He's my favorite in your family.
That's just rude and rude.
Here's Charlie. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I think this is a core Ron and Fez issue, is that Fezzy was abused. He needs therapy. And Ronnie, I don't mean to pick on you, but you constantly try to save him. So, I mean, this is core.
That is a problem, and I do apologize for that. Because maybe I'm an enabler. I fucking coddle this fucking femme. I fucking coddle this idiot.
You're just trying to help him.
I know.
That's the way we look at it.
I'm not coddled. I'm just bringing up this letter as Exhibit A.
Why don't you do this, Fezzy? Why don't you try to chill out a little bit? Be like HTG. Don't make your bed and just lay down and fucking rest the day away.
Oh, I couldn't live that way.
Yeah, well.
And an unmade bed?
Yeah.
Filthy.
It's relaxing, though, you know?
Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
So it's like this. My brother has always been the disappointment, but at the same time, he gets all of the attention. And I've been the consummate, do everything good, you know, try to stay in line. And I've always gotten, oh, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and get no attention. So I think Fezzy needs to realize that, you know, Ricky Bobby is maybe the less, maybe he's achieved less, and, you know, his parents try to make him feel better for that.
Well, I know they're constantly, worried about how he feels, how he's doing, that sort of thing. And I'm not saying that I get shit on or anything like that. I mean, I get plenty of love from my parents at this point in my life.
Your mom adores you.
But, it's adores the checks. But it's just, it's just obvious to all of us in the family who the favorite is.
I just think the more the outward love that the parents give is almost a sign that that's the most messed up son. That's the son who needs it the most. Not that he's the favorite.
But here's the thing, Fezzy. You know you're not a kid anymore, right?
Right.
What do you give a fuck who the favorite is? You think I want to be there every time my mom or dad has a fucking thought in their head? I'm going through a thing right now that is so crazy frustrating with my old man. all he ever talks about is every year is getting the fucking Phillies game. But he does not want to get rid of his cable and get a dish. This year, I'm fucking getting him the dish so he can have the 162 games. It's a nightmare. He's calling my house. He's asking me about movie packages. I've literally had to say and lie. I've made up a lie that I'm getting this all for free from a friend of mine. And having the fucking bill sent to my house. It's driving me insane. I cannot live like this. You know, it's too much. I would be happy. I'm happy I'm not the favorite. I'm sure it's one of my sisters and they deserve it. They fucking are constantly there.
Yeah, if you're the favorite, you're nagged. It's my brother, the favorite, who always has to paint the porch. Come on, Mark, come on over. Can you mow the lawn, for crying out loud?
I mean, the reality is nobody knows what everybody else is going through. When I went home last Thanksgiving, there became this resentment towards me that I didn't even know that had built up for, I guess, a couple years. And from some of my sister's kids, where they think my life is easy and their life is fucking hard. And that all came flying out at one time, where basically I work for a living and you sit around fucking off with your friends. And I'm like, whatever, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you think somehow I'm the one who caught this easy fucking path,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You have no idea.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm not taking on a little bit. If you ever want to sit down and discuss this, I would fucking go through it. But to act like, you had it tough and I had it easy. And a lot of that fucking shit comes up. A lot of that fucking stuff. And like you talked about the changes. Me and my brother were distant from each other for a long fucking time, right? Not that we ever had a terrible fight, but we just went in different paths. When we started to get close, I saw it fucking freak out the whole rest of the family.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody got weirded out that, why is he over there? What do you got? Because it changed the whole dynamic. And I went, this is fucking insane.
That is so fucking true. Because being in a family is a lot like being typecast for a film.
Right.
And you have to fulfill a certain role. And God forbid, say like me, if I'm the jerk off and then I'm starting to work two jobs and do well and everything.
Right.
Uh-oh, what's going on here? I think sometimes some envy creeps into it. Because, hey, I'm typecast as the jerk off. I'm not supposed to be succeeding at anything right now. So that's the way it goes.
You're absolutely true. With families, they can't stand it if people, tend to be... It's almost like some family members can't stand it if other family members are friends with each other. I know when the weirdness went on with my sister and stuff, I would always get hit from both sides, either my sister or my mother. What's the other one saying? Because I know they'll talk to you.
But
me.
But the same thing that fucking Dave just said, where it's a role. You don't have to fucking play the role.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is your thing of, do I want to be part of this thing or don't I? And sometimes the only way that those other two people can come together is they're pissed at you. And if that's what it fucking takes for you guys to feel happier, go ahead and do it. But I'm really not fucking playing along. I'm really not playing along.
I'm gonna Johnny Depp this shit.
Yeah.
You're just gonna see me as a fucking chameleon.
Right.
New role every time.
And then, yes, I am. Seriously, I'm Gary Oldman. I'm not going for the movie star Harrison Ford parts. I don't need that.
I didn't even recognize him in this holiday.
Sometimes I'm the bad guy, and sometimes
literally,
I'm the good guy.
I come in with a shaved head on Thanksgiving. Fucking Depping this shit.
But you know what? Here's the thing. At some point, if it's not fucking unconditional love for you, right?
Right.
What is it? What the hell is it? If it's this is the way we love you. This is the way that you need to act for us to fucking love you. Do you want to buy into that? Do you want to be that fucking guy? And don't act like I'm above it. We all do that with people.
Sure.
And you act like, oh, my parents do this. You only love your parents in a certain way. You never get around to seeing them as complete people. You still, when you get together with your family, you're still demanding attention from them, and certain foods and what you. I mean, you do revert to your fucking childish ways. The weirdest thing is, when I get together with my family, I notice everybody will go back to the same fucking chairs. We don't have assigned seating like we were little, and everybody will go back and sit.
We totally do that.
Very weird. I mean, it's not. It's so universal,
Where was your seat at the family dinner table when you were a kid?
I sat in between my brother and my father. Constant fucking smacks for my table manners both fucking sides.
Wow.
And I literally did this before. I fucking kicked my chair back up once and pulled the fucking knife back and yelled out, "I will cut your throats if either one of you animals won't let me fucking eat my meal. I ain't fucking sitting up straight. This ain't the military. I want in and out." Oh, those ball busters. Again, one of the places my dad and my brother could coexist and get along is knowing that I was the asshole. That was the role. There's something they could agree on, because when they weren't battling back and forth, it was so, my sisters would sit next to my mom. It was almost like a boys, my dad had to be on the end, like he was the king. It's insane. Nobody, my elderly grandmother who lived with us was down at the other end. It's just nuts, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If your parents hear you saying this stuff, they would be like completely like, your life was good. You're not saying it wasn't good. You're not. And obviously my kids are going to say the same nutty fucking shit. I'm sure that they're going to wish, some things were different. Why wouldn't you want things to be different if you only had one way to live your life?
Right. Yeah. I was on the left hand of my father, who was at the end of the table, and across from my mother. She liked having a clean shot across the table at me.
You say all that shit, Fuzzy, but I never knew a fucking grown-up son who runs home as fast as you do. You do not take your own vacations, to this day.
Yeah, that's true. I have to admit that.
Yeah. So there's something about it you love. For all the bitching that you do, there's something about it you fucking enjoy.
Well, yeah, I enjoy it now. I mean, I don't get hit anymore, so that's nice. That's a good thing.
Yet a day doesn't go by that you don't bring up being hit. So, yeah, you still are being hit on some level, whether you get it or not.
You should try staying in New York, maybe, for the next vacation. That's a different change of pace.
Like you did for Thanksgiving when we talked you into eating a fucking Hungry Man dinner by yourself rather than going down to Virginia for a lovely meal.
A good time.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, TV dinner, and Budweiser's. It was great.
Keep telling yourself that.
Don't you think it's disgusting when someone's folding their cover to put it in their mouth?
Yeah, I mean, you're sleeping on that.
Right.
Why would you want to fold your sheet? Come on.
And then you put it in your mouth while you're doing the fold.
Yeah, put it in your mouth.
Put it back right in the washing machine again, because now it's got your spit all over it.
Yeah.
Greg, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, you touched on something important. You can't buy your parents' love. I bought my old man a satellite dish. He's a Mets fan. He took the satellite dish off the house because he didn't like the way it made the house look.
Oh, obviously. I have never pleased my fucking car. It doesn't fucking please them. It's just an impossibility. And Fez, I know you've been the same exact thing, thinking this is what's going to make them happy.
Remember the Alaskan cruise?
Yeah.
I got my parents Alaskan cruise for their anniversary one year. No lie, what I heard from my mother was, wow, the cabin's not very nice. The cabin wasn't big enough.
Isn't that
That's fucking terrible.
Isn't it like a sword through your heart?
Yo, you know what? Like the worst scene is in $1 Million Baby when that fucking sweetheart buys her mom the house.
That's fucking
and she's like, "Why would you buy this house? It's gonna put me in a higher tax bracket." You want to reach through the fucking screen
I know.
and punch that woman. That's the way that sounds.
That was the greatest fucking scene, too, and every kid needs to see it.
It was awesome.
Yeah. But at the same time, you also can't please your kids. You don't realize the things that you've said throughout the years.
Oh, yeah.
That destroyed family dinners for them, family vacations. I mean, and mainly the thing with you, Fez, is like not having your own kids, you don't get to see that other side of it. And that's why I still think a lot of you, not that I'm fucking putting you down or anything, but a lot of you and your brothers, your older brother, you guys still fall into that thing. Where your little brother, who has the kids, he's more like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
if that's who you need.
He's got more important things to worry about.
Yeah. Hey, it's our buddy Foundry Music, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
This is a great topic. You know, one thing I learned as I got older is your parents love you, but they don't necessarily have to like you.
Right.
But I know my brother's the favorite. Like, for my dad, I mean, he fucked more. He's a better athlete. I mean, I remember every time I missed a tee in T-ball, I look at disappointment on his face. Or I got a gutter ball where I bowled with him, and he just didn't want to be on my team anymore. He put me on my mom's team. It all came down to sports with my dad. And if you weren't an athlete and if you didn't know sports, he didn't really want to talk to you. So every time I talk to him, it's usually about, you know, how's business, how's marriage, and it's really a mundane conversation. But when he talks to my brother, he gets excited because they have common interests, and I just think he thinks I'm a bore.
Yeah, I'm that way with you too, though.
I'm sorry, what are you saying, Jeff?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So you were terrible at sports?
I was awful. I was so bad, I didn't even, pursue sports as an interest.
Now, did people tell you to play sports, or you just wanted to try it?
People told me not to play sports.
Right.
People were like, you know what, maybe this is for you. So
Now-
I got into computers, and that's what I do now.
When you joined the baseball team, was it to try to say, hey, maybe now my dad will dig what I'm doing?
He used to love coming to my games because he thought I had the build to be a great baseball player.
Right.
But when he saw I had absolutely no talent at the sport whatsoever, he just got really angry. Like I failed him, but he couldn't say that because he knew it was wrong. But you could just see it. And when you fail your father, you see it in his eyes, and you know he doesn't even have to say it.
Now, do you
And
think
it's
that's true, Fez? Do you think he failed his dad, or do you think his dad saw it that way, or?
I think his dad probably. I don't think he failed his dad because I'm sure he was trying the best he could. So I'm not
Right.
going to say fail, but I could see his dad seeing it that way.
See, I don't, being a father myself.
Every sports-inclined father wants his son to be the next great pitcher, or the next great hitter, or the next great quarterback. And
See, I disagree, man. I really do disagree with that.
No, I agree with that. I want my son. I would force my kids to play sports.
What?
Yes, I would force
That's awful.
I would force them because I think it's good for you, and because I think I have an outside shot to have a son who's a great athlete. And sports.
Even though you're a fan of sports, you're still more, I would say, and tell me if I'm wrong, but you're more of an intellectual than like a hardcore, sports guy who goes to every game and, you'll actually fight someone who doesn't like your team and that sort of thing. Like, that's the kind of guy my dad was. Like, he got into physical fights with people who didn't like the Mets.
Wow. He must have fought a lot.
He wanted me to be on the Mets so bad. And when my brother showed
Then he should have moved you to the Dominican Republic.
When my brother started to show promise as a baseball player, we almost never, ever talked. And I went through years of just complete depression and knowing that he abandoned me. And we only reconnected later in life when he realized I wasn't a complete fruit. And I actually like women. And, I got married, and now he's starting to talk to me again.
Well, don't tell him how much you like the anal stuff, because that'll freak him out. All right, Jeff, take care, my buddy.
Right.
Talk to you soon. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ.
I would totally encourage I would push my kids into doing sports.
Push?
I would push them. I would, because it's like, because especially with kids now, they're like, first of all, we got a whole generation of fat kids. I wouldn't want my kid to be fat. I want them to go out and be more social. It's part of being, building up social skills too, learning how to be a part of a team.
Absolutely not.
A dynamic.
I played every sport, and I had a fucking ball. And my dad used to show up at all the games, too. And then I was, coached my son in different sports, which was, really fun. But at the same time, it was like he picked the sports. Because, I'm going to tell you the truth. When he picked soccer, I'm like, oh, man, this is fucking awful, man. I really had to, I had to hold it back. But then I ended up having fun going to the games and thinking that it's really a great sport for kids, and wished I knew more about it. You know what I mean? So I would have been able to fucking coach rather than just like, hey kids, I'll put the net up. But you don't want to push your kids into sports.
I think it makes them winners. And I think
No.
some kids are going to say no, and I'm going to say get out on the
All right,
fucking field.
Let me fucking paint a scenario for you, right?
Yeah.
What if both you guys end up having a kid? He's a fucking thin kid, even a little sickly. The kid is fucking Steven Spielberg or Marty Scorsese, right?
Right.
Like an idiot, you're forcing Steven Spielberg to fucking play basketball, to play fucking baseball, to play hockey, instead of getting him a camera and helping him on his way. You would be the worst father of all time, and you don't even know it. You got one of the fucking coolest kids of all time. You've got one of the successful kids of all time, and because of your own prejudice, you're fucking it up.
He can do that on the side.
That isn't
He
on
can
the
do
side.
it on the side.
That'd be like saying Joe Namath was your kid, but he can play football on the side. I really want him to learn how to edit fucking film. You realize what a mistake it would be to take Patrick Ewing and force him to edit fucking film?
Yeah, that would maybe be a stupid thing to
But
do.
I'm telling you the same thing. You could keep that kid from becoming Marty Scorsese by trying to force the fucking into the wrong fucking hole there. Don't you see this, Earl?
Yeah, I see that. And also, I mean,
Maybe the kid's Clapton.
Yeah.
And you got him on a fucking baseball field. Maybe he's going to break his fucking fingers and not be slow hand.
Yeah, Dave, like, sports is all encompassing. Like, if you join the baseball team, let's say high school baseball, that's pretty much when the year turns over, that's the rest of that school year. It's 5 months or 6 months.
And I loved playing sports. And I was okay. I would make whatever fucking all-star teams or whatever, but I never had it in the back of my mind that I'll ride this thing forever. You know what I mean?
You're a better person for it.
What?
You're a better person. Look
Not
at you.
necessarily. Not necessarily. It's not like I'm not or I am. It's just something I did that I liked. If it would have made more sense to me to fucking, pursue other fucking interests, that would have been. I mean, my thing was hanging with my friends. But every fucking team I would play on in Little League, there would be kids that did not want to fucking play. And they would be having a nightmare fucking time.
Hello.
Right, but
that was wrong for them.
If you're going to be a Scorsese, a Spielberg, you're going to get there. No, I mean, playing sports through 18 years old is not going to prohibit you from making that mark.
What if we said the same thing about a fucking downhill skier? You know what I mean? Maybe you got him in the wrong fucking sport. There's a lot of fucking kids that are jocks that can't fucking play with a ball.
Right.
Makes no sense to them. They would be in the wrong sport. You need to, we went back to this earlier, follow your bliss. It's the only thing to do is you got to fucking follow that kid along when he goes, this is what I'm into. You try to provide as many options for him without getting in the way. You got to take your fucking ego out of it.
No, but I would encourage him to do any sport.
A kid who doesn't want to play, doesn't want to be out there and was forced into it, he's not going to have any interest in getting any better at it to improve, what he's, screwing up out there. And it's just going to destroy more self-esteem. It's awful. Trust me, I've been through it.
And it's not, don't act like Mick Jagger didn't live his life like a stud. He never fucking played sports. It would have been fucking stupid to try to bulk him up and try to get him not to look like Mick Jagger. You would have been the world's worst dad. And he would be singing fucking songs about what a dick you are.
I'm not saying to bulk him up. I'm saying you can have other interests. I want you on the field to understand what camaraderie is about, to understand how to sacrifice.
But you know what? Believe it or not, you can understand camaraderie by being part of the theater group. It wasn't my background. It wasn't your background. You can learn fucking camaraderie by being part of the math fucking club. Whatever that guy is, he will learn that fucking thing.
Right.
He will learn it without you being a dick and trying to push him in the wrong spot.
But it's also exercise. It's also going to you stimulate your body, you stimulate your brain.
You sound like a fucking gym teacher. You sound like you should be wearing a whistle around your neck and too tight shorts.
I just believe in sports, especially for children. And I do think that the fucking demise of American children has to deal with them staying in and losing interest in sports. I truly believe that. Truly. They're all fucking playing video games. And they're retarded.
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, they're fucking talking about kids that are really good at video games having better fucking test scores. They're talking about kids now who are playing video games that are going to be more prepared for the fucking jobs in the next couple of decades. You don't know what it was. I mean, right, you know, earlier at different times, people are like, hey, you need to really learn how to hunt and to fucking be a farmer so you can take care of yourself. Put that fucking book away. Well, the fucking kid writing in the book, maybe he was fucking Hemingway. You never know. You got to stop taking your fucking prejudice and pushing it on the next generation. All the shit that we just talked about,
right?
That you were saying, oh, I wasn't appreciated, Fez wasn't appreciated.
Yeah.
You're talking about now keeping that line of stubbornness going. It's stupid.
I want the kid to develop his own identity and personality.
Then what does it have to do with you?
But within the context of sports and then anything else on the side. My parents let me write for the poetry magazine and also play baseball. So, but at least I was playing some ball. And I want that kid to do it. And I don't want him to grow up. And I think part of it is if you don't play sports, you grow up a little sissy.
You think Spielberg's a sissy or Scorsese's a sissy? Or fucking Bill Gates is a fucking sissy?
Yeah, I mean, Bill Gates is a little bit of a sissy to me.
And any fucking word of fucking power in this country, Bill Gates is the fucking guy.
Right.
He is a person who changes fucking lives.
Yeah.
You are not. Your life is fucking... And I'm not busting your balls.
Right.
But your life is a speck compared to his life.
Right.
Any way of measuring success or power, you are not even on the fucking blip of the fucking radar itself. It's nowhere near.
It's all
his
about
life.
money, though, with Bill
No,
Gates.
it's also about power, and he's changed lives. And I'm not even always saying in the best way. But, you know, his parents would have been wrong to try to push him into failing at something rather than help him succeed at his fucking dreams. Hey, Bob, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Listen, you redheaded fuckhead. Watch any biography of fucking Steven Spielberg. His dad bought him a camera when he was 6 years old and helped him edit film all the way through high school. Same thing with that M. Night Shyamalan. Same fucking thing. You got to embrace what your kids want to do. You can't force your shit on them, dude.
Look, you know
Or
what?
else they turn into a fucking alcoholic loser.
Yeah. You don't think it fucking, you know, I mean, I got fucking, was told that I'm a fuck up by people in school. And obviously I was. You know why? I was doing the same shit I do here. This is the way I acted during math class. I fucking literally would be talking the same way. Nothing fucking, you know, changed. But if there was somebody would have came in and goes, hey, don't worry. Someday the hot chicks are going to be owning the I-57 Ignite fucking shirts. There are going to be girls, the really hottest chicks will go out and get themselves I-57 Ignite shirts. Then I would only needed to hear that once rather than thinking, all right, fuck you, I'll live my life as a gangster. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? There was nobody to say, hey, what you're doing, even though it's disruptive, let's find a fucking place to put that. You know what I mean? Well, if somebody would have just said, maybe you could be Carl Reiner. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Let's try to find it out together. Instead, they went in the opposite direction and thought, well, he doesn't understand. You know, he has ADD or whatever. Fuck, of course I have ADD. Look what I end up doing for a living. You better have ADD. If you don't, you're a fucking moron. In this business, you better be able to go from one topic to the other.
But I want my kids to be well-rounded. They're allowed to fucking own a video camera, to that last caller. But get on the ball field. I think it's going to help out both sides of your brains.
How is that going to help a kid who doesn't want to be part of that situation, and it's a nightmare to him anytime the ball comes his way?
Even if it's a nightmare, he can use that experience to build upon. He'll then experience joy outside of sports. But
I have fun playing sports. Fez, when he says it's a nightmare, I mean, what did you want when you were playing baseball? You would be thinking, please hit the fucking ball to me.
Yeah.
Please hit the ball to me. Other fucking Fez, it was the worst possible thing that could happen to him.
It was scary as hell.
And I actually coached those kids. And I would say to them, hey, buddy, what are you doing out here? How come you're here? And they were there because somebody thought it would help them. And the main thing that I had to do was to make sure the other kids stayed off their little fat backs and make sure some of the parents stayed off their backs.
Right.
Because I would hear parents fucking moan like, oh, geez, I don't believe we're putting in, and I won't say the kid's name. I'll fucking spit on those fuckers.
Right.
And I would literally say, I'd rather we fucking lost right here than to fuck this asshole. I go, because I would tell these folks, your kid ain't going to be a pro. Look at him. He's so white, he'll never make it.
But at least that kid was giving it a shot, and I truly think that kid's probably better off today for it, just for giving it a shot. That's all.
Okay, Coach.
All right.
Okay, Coach Cleats. And, you know, don't even kid yourself. A lot of those fucking guys really peak at 12 and 15.
Yeah.
And, I know guys who want to talk about old games. And I'm like, what? I don't remember the Comets. I don't know what to talk. I guess we won 3-2. I don't know. Remember that? You had a ribby, bottom of the sixth, place went crazy.
I was 12.
Yeah, I don't really remember. Butch, what can we do for you?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to lend some insight because I had 3 kids that went through Little League and soccer, and now they're into sports that one boy gets sponsored on a snowboard for a ski slope. Another boy is probably going to get a college scholarship for bowling. And I don't know anything about either one of those sports. And the best thing I can do is just sit there and watch them. And back at you were saying, Ronnie, I agree with you about people sitting there and, well, we don't want the fat kid to go in or whatever. That's bullshit.
Right.
And that's all I got.
See, I would be just like Ron in that regard. It's not about going out there and winning. It's about just trying. So I would push my kid, even if he was a nerd, into sports. Give it a try. Just give it a fucking try. If he doesn't pan out, fine. Go get your video camera.
Would you push him into knitting if that was,
Yeah, it's a good fucking point there. And at the same time, you don't want to fucking hold back your kid if it's Tommy Hilfiger. And I know that I would probably be a little nervous if I had a kid who was like sewing all the time and, Dad, what do you think of this pantsuit? But I swear to God, I would fucking roll with it as best I could. I would not try to find other interests for him. I would try to go, hey, I found out Jay-Z just sold his interest in Rockaware for $210 million the other day. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, if you are good at anything,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You're going to get fucking paid, you know? So, you want to fucking support a kid, you got to. Now, I'm not, I know if suddenly, like Ronald Reagan, your kid got into ballet, you'd be a little nervous. And Reagan never appreciated the fact that his son was a fucking ballet dancer. I know that probably hurt his fucking kid. you know?
Sure.
I was probably a big part of the fucking distance there. I'm saying you got to find something to dig about it, you know?
Yeah, and I'm going to be a supportive father, but at the same time, I'm going to be a supportive father who says, at the very minimum, get into right field. Do this for Dad. Do this for Dad.
Let me check with. Let's see, that's awful. Earl, you're the same way as him, right?
I can't. Dave sounds like a lunatic. He's coming off he comes off like the fathers that I would.
The ones we hated.
The ones we hated, exactly.
Well, we've got. I wish that Dad wouldn't come to this game.
The hockey dads of the world.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like that. I think you guys are getting me confused with the dad who wants results. But I'm the dad who wants the effort.
No,
get out there.
Because you're a hypocrite, because you wouldn't get a chemistry set for your kid and force him to do science experiments.
I disagree. If my son wanted a chemistry set, I would do that. But in addition to that, put on the shoes.
The only thing you're forcing your kid into is baseball.
Right. That is true. Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. I'm forcing him into baseball.
And Dave, there's that thin line between like wanting the effort and becoming the screaming dad when you make the error, and he just rides you the rest of the. That's the next step. I've seen it over and over
I'm not going to be
again.
like that.
All you got to do, look what Foundry Music Jeff said. His dad never said a bad word to him, but his dad looked like his feelings hurt, and it does hurt you when you see your kid not get what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, if your son, is in third grade or your daughter's in third grade and she likes a boy and that boy doesn't like her back, it fucking aches because you want your kids to get whatever they have. I mean, one of the real fucking struggles of any kind of parenthood is to know that this kid is going to have losses in their life, because you're used to giving them as much as you possibly can, So you don't want to add to that by, all right, Rusty, you gave up the ball went through your legs and your gang lost 3-2. I know you didn't want to play. Get back here, son. Don't dive in the back of the van. Look at that. You've now set up a thing.
No, because I disagree. Because I think by saying don't give it a shot, Rusty, you're going to become a professional wallflower. The kids are like little stupid ducklings. They need to be pushed in the water sometimes.
You're a stupid duckling, and you need to be eaten with Chinese food.
What?
Here's Nat. Nat, you're on Fez. How are you, Nat?
Pretty good. Dave, really, I mean, you should be sterilized. Oh, good callback to the Joseph Campbell, by the way. Follow your bliss. That's all it's about. Dave should be sterilized. We're going to see him fucking 10 years from now, 6 o'clock news, murder. Just because on the sideline, somebody else's kid makes a fucking error.
Man.
I swear to God, Dave.
No one's listening.
You're going to...
Go ahead, Dave. You explain it to us one more time.
I don't care about results. I want the kid to try. I want him to lace up, give it the effort. If he goes 0 for 4 with 4 Ks, I'm not going to fucking make him feel like shit. I think sports, the participation is good for a kid.
All right, let me tell you something. In my neighborhood, I never even played Little League, I think, until I was 11. In my neighborhood, it was all about sandlot ball. And by the time I was 4 or 5, I could find a fucking game in my neighborhood. There would be basketball being played. There would be fucking tackle football in the backyard. And we had literally had a field that wasn't like a real baseball field, but it was a field that we put the fucking shit on ourselves, like Spanky, and fucking had that thing going. You were the same way, Earl?
Oh, yeah. There was always a game going on somewhere.
Sometimes this game would be 3 guys against 4 guys. Sometimes it would be 15 guys against fucking 17 guys. And if there was fucking 15 guys, there would be 15 guys in the field. We did not, you know what I mean? Like, you would show up with your glove and not even say, can I play? You would just run out, and you would be in fucking mid, left, center, wherever it fucking played. You know, and until a base opened up and you could play the infield. You just fucking played. And a game would start in the morning, would fucking play all the time. And most of those guys that I know, you know, Rap, that's where I knew Rap from those days. And he'll tell you the same fucking story. We had constant fucking games going. And I didn't start playing organized sports until about 11, 12 years old. When we put on the uniforms, right? Mm-hmm. First time I ever saw parents watching us fucking play. Never did any of the dads come out to watch us in the fucking sandlot. They did not have any interest until we got uniforms and a scoreboard. And when we got uniforms and a scoreboard, for the first fucking time ever, I saw kids crying when they struck out. No one gave a fuck. No one had nothing but fun. I mean, sometimes we'd fist fight. But then you would, after the fist fight, you would go back out and play your fucking position. You know, we didn't have umps. No one gave 2 shits about enough to cry about until we got fucking uniforms. And then those parents made such a big fucking deal about it that suddenly guys didn't want to play anymore. No one gave a shit who fucking stunk. If you stunk so bad and you had him on your team, we'd give you 4 outs. No one this fucker is going to fan.
But you were still playing sports in the sandlot, and you still had a great time.
I learned to cuss out there.
Well, all I'm saying is I would encourage my kid to maybe go that route.
Well, you
but
can't now.
Sports.
You can't, because if the kids leave the house, everyone thinks they're going to get raped by strangers from out of town. So no one goes out in the suburbs anymore.
Well, I can't help the crime rates. I mean, what
it
are we
isn't
talking
fucking
about?
crime rates. It's more fucking paranoia from fucking parents.
Right.
I think it's probably safer now than ever before. But, you know, everyone has cable news now, so they're constantly worried.
Right. Well, look, I would trust my kid to, you know, keep a good head on, watch out for pedophiles, but at least go out into the sandlot.
He's going to play by himself. There's no one out there in those fields anymore. There's no kids out there.
Well, I'll start the Davy Mack Rec League.
I will tell you, now you're talking crazy. I'm going to tell you the truth. Drive through Jersey and see how many pickup games you see. You don't fucking see them anymore.
Right. Well,
kids stay inside.
Yeah.
My parents live in South Jamaica, New York, and they have 2 humongous fields, baseball fields, sandlot fields. On the way home on the bus, I look at every single time I'm there, empty, barren. I mean, more people playing cricket.
Yeah.
But there's no pickup games, not even football.
Now, how was it when you were a kid? Crazy with kids being out?
Oh, it was ridiculous. We never were home. I mean, like my niece and nephews now, they're like, It's like, why you go out? It's like, what did you do when you were growing up? It's like, we were never home. The only time we went home was to eat, sleep, and bathe, essentially. We were always out because there was always something going on. There was a game.
That's my
some
point.
type of game going on.
You just made my point. Everyone in the neighborhood played sports. And in my personal opinion, I think people, like teenagers these days, are a lot less well-rounded, that they don't have an appreciation for
Who are you,
film.
blowhard?
No,
Seriously.
I disagree, Dave, because, what options did we have? You watch TV, we only had 3 channels. You had less to do. I mean, we didn't have, we didn't have these sophisticated video games that we have now.
You didn't have DVDs to watch over and
You didn't
over.
have VCRs,
Wait a second.
We didn't have cable.
What? Well, how old do you go back? You didn't have VCRs when you were a kid?
Well, cable in New York City, cable didn't really get widespread until like the late 80s. It wasn't like, most around the country where cable was all over the place. There were just other things to do. You went out and, and you played ball. That was just part of the dynamic then.
Mike, you're on Fez.
Yeah, Dave's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Dave, if you force your kid to play a sport and he doesn't want to play it, what happens when he grows up and he's resentful? How's your relationship then?
I'll say I did what I thought was best for you. That's the way I'll resolve that situation.
Oh, so you traumatize a kid and you tell him you're sorry, it's okay.
Yeah, essentially.
How does that make any sense?
When you're a parent, Mike, you're not going to be doing...
I'm a parent.
You don't always make decisions. You don't let kids just run wild, do whatever the hell they want. You have to sometimes throw down the gauntlet. Respect me. I'm
By
being
playing
serious.
baseball?
Yeah, well, no, but that's going to be my thing. Other parents, it's make your bed, take out the fucking garbage. I'm not interested in that. I'll take out the garbage. Your mother will make the bed for you. But we have different rules in this
Casey?
household. We have different rules in
Gotta
this
make her own
household.
bed.
That's all. That's all. You have to.
I know, Santini. You're doing your best. You're doing everything you can do. Why you squirt a couple for me? Where's Daddy's little girl? Here is Lindsay. Lindsay, you're on Fez.
Hey guys, love your show.
Yeah.
I'm from Vancouver, BC. That's
Right.
awesome. Best radio I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
I got 3 kids. Nobody gave me a book on how to raise kids. My parents pushed me into baseball when I was 8. Turns out I had a pretty good arm and pretty good talent for the sport, and I went quite a ways, and now I play full pitch, and I can launch a ball 450 feet, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I got a daughter who's 11, and she plays in the boys' hardball league because she hates the women's stuff, right? She doesn't like
Right.
the girly fast pitch stuff. She can throw a hardball at 53 miles per hour. She's a switch hitter, and they have a draft so the kids don't put all the good kids on one team and the shitty kids on the other team.
Yeah, I've been part of those drafts. If the kids ever knew what gets said at those drafts, they'd never stop crying.
Yeah, right?
I'm not kidding you.
Well, the point is out of 100 kids, out of all, there's 2-3 girls in the league. She gets picked in the top 30 every year.
Uh-huh.
Now, last year she didn't really want to play. I kind of pushed her a little bit into it. The whole year she had a pretty good time. She admitted to me she loved it. She had a great time. This year, going through the same thing, she doesn't want to play. And I think what happens is as the boys get a little stronger, a little older,
Right.
she's getting a little bit feeling like she doesn't belong there, right?
And everything
So I
clicked
told
off
her-
for me, like in my teens too. I'm like drugs and rock. I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to play anymore.
Same here.
The last thing I want to do is practice.
I told her,
I'll
I
show up
said,
for the
"Look, tell
games.
you what,
Same here, but again, you had experience already. I just want that initial experience to happen.
That's
whether
it.
it's
Like
12
I'm
years
not
old.
going to push her. She's not going to go too far in men's hardball. Maybe 15 at the most. But I just told her, I said, look, you give me this last year because it's something I enjoy doing with you. I got a lot of insight. I can give you all the information. I can teach you how to pitch. And I just want you to enjoy yourself. If you're not having a good time and you don't want to play next year, I'm not going to push you to play.
But you're pushing her this year.
Right.
You're
Yeah,
making her
push her a
do it
little
this
bit.
year.
I'm kind of, well, in a way, because you got need to know my girl too, right? Like she's kind of like me. I was a kid. I didn't want to do anything, and then when I got pushed into it, I said, I kind of like this.
Yeah, but she's not you. Like, don't always think just because you were a certain way, they're going to be a certain way. Like, you think because it's your kid, you're like, I'm going to make this kid a better version of me, and that's where you fuck up. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
where I fucked up, and that's why I told her this would be a last year. If you don't want to play again, I mean, you got to see this kid swing a bat. She's a switch hitter. There's just maybe the two of
yeah,
them.
but you're probably pushing her towards lesbianism. When you say switch hitter, I know those girls. Now, believe me, I had a little girl across the street from me when we grew up that always played ball with us until we got to Little League. Then they wouldn't let her play in those days. She should have absolutely been a fucking starter on the team. So at that age, I think there's plenty of little girls that could play.
Well, her thing is soccer, anyways. Like, soccer is her game, and she's really good at that. So I told her, if you don't want to do the baseball thing, that's cool. But just this one last year, because she had so much, like, it's not so much pushing her, want her to be like me, because I have a boy. If I want another kid to be like me, I'll maybe push him or whatever.
Whatever, Mr. Hooch.
Yeah. All right, this little girl's not Marla Hooch.
Hey, how about that Marla Hooch?
Because that was Marla Hooch's dad. He wanted a boy.
Certainly me. I raised her this way.
But the point is, she had fun last year. She met some good friends, and that's kind of the memories. Like, she has friends that she had from soccer and baseball.
Where do you live, Lindsay?
5 years.
Where do you live?
Pardon me?
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you live in the world?
Out here in BC.
Oh, you're in British Columbia.
Yeah.
Just let her know one day she can get away from you. And I think that's all she needs to know.
Well, the thing is, he keeps saying just one more year.
Yeah.
A year in a kid's lifetime.
Oh, yeah, it's
is
everything.
Eternity.
Right.
To him, this year will be over by the time he blinks.
Yeah. I remember...
You know what, if she doesn't want to finish the season, I won't make her finish the season. Like, I'm not...
That's
I'm not
it. Teach her to be a quitter. That's always the best thing. All right, Lindsay. Good luck up there.
Okay.
And basically do whatever you want with her. She's not a citizen. So what do we care? It's got nothing to do with us. But you were right about that, Fez. I remember my last day of 5th grade on the bus with my girlfriend, and we were in, like, different neighborhoods. And I'm like, I won't see her again until September. I'm sure this is over. I'm sure. And if I could have started 6th grade, that fucking moment I would have.
Yeah. When I played sports, when I was a little kid, I hated it. I didn't like being put out there. And I would constantly ask, how many more games are left? I would constantly try to find the schedule to see when this nightmare was coming to an end.
When I was coaching my kids, again, you have the draft. So you got to go, everybody's got to get one or two of those kids that just aren't, no matter what you do with them. And what you really hope for at that age is like you get one and not two. And then really a big part of your coaching is, how do I put these guys in? Do I put one of them to start the game with them? You know what I mean? And get it out of the way. Maybe bat them early, So we're playing basketball, and we got invited to this tournament. I had all little kids, but there were a couple that were incredibly fast, and we had one kid that was an amazing ball handler. And, could hit a fucking layup, which is going to win most of the games, And we're playing against these bigger kids that were a little more organized. And I think in this tournament, we've ended up finishing like 4th or 5th. And if we'd have gotten over this one fucking thing, we might have been able to be the upset special. And we're playing these fucking big kids all the way up to the end of the game. And then a couple minutes left, and, we just run out of steam. And some of my kids were so crushed, I turn around, and the little fat kid is standing there that, played with us the whole season. And he looks at me and goes, did we win? And you look around, and there's other kids that are holding back tears. And I go like this to him. Yeah, big man, it was a big win for us. So go home and feel good about it. Right back, Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, The Virus, on Sirius XM.